Tonight, Season 3 kicks off for Modern Warfare and Warzone. The season's update will go live around 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 a.m. Eastern, and I believe that's 7 a.m. in the UK. So get ready to have your platforms of choice ready for those downloads. But today, we learned a ton about the upcoming season at hand, the maps, operators, modes, and much more coming at launch and throughout the season. So with that said, we're going to break down all of it here for you today and let you know everything you need to in order to be ready to jump into Season 3 full steam ahead. As we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys stoked for any of the new maps, operators, weapons, maybe not so much? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But as well, if you are new to the channel, maybe considering that subscribe button if you have not done so already, and maybe you're a part of the nearly 81% of viewers who are not, to stay up to date and in the loop for everything Modern Warfare and Warzone content as we round into Season 3 on a daily basis. But anyways, let's get into it. Released firstly was the trailer for Season 3, which you'll be seeing in the background, showcasing a little bit of what's all to come in Season 3. For me, some of the noticeable stuff were things like quads, new blueprints for weapons, new operators and weapons, and of course, quick little glimpses at the maps that we'll have coming up. Some of the blueprints look pretty awesome. I'm incredibly excited to see whatever that all white and black one, like the Ram 7 Corruptor variant. It looks like it's on an M4 at that. Looking forward to seeing how that one turns out. There's a gold-plated rifle that looks like the AK variant, but doesn't seem to be the AK variant, and one that looks to be green and black as well. Hopefully these are coming in the battle pass, but I'm a big fan of matte finishes on weapons, and while I do like some crazy stuff out there from time to time in camos, I'm a big fan of those ones where it's clean, but it's vibrant just as a base white camo. Nothing too over the top, but does the job. Curious to see how that one will work out. We also saw some of our operators like Alex and Ronan, who looks to have an absolute badass finishing move, but we later learned in the Activision blog post that Alex's reintroduction actually is canon to the storyline, which is pretty cool to see. We saw the use of the SKS and Renetti, the new weapons. We saw the maps, which overall look pretty decent looking. Though based on the trailer and the information that has come out since, it seems like we're missing any ground war map and Spec Ops content with this season, or at least what was advertised, which is a bit of a bummer. I'm a big ground war guy, so a bit irritated by that one, but the rest still looks pretty cool. Warzone still looks to be promising, so I think I can manage, but I can totally understand the frustration that you may have if you're not interested in that kind of stuff. But a few minutes after the trailer, we got the image you'll see on screen right now, the roadmap for Season 3, which we can see in-season content as well as a launch day content. Now, here's the thing that I will say right up front. There's one small but key difference with what we see in this roadmap versus what we've seen in others. If you look at what the launch content is, it's labeled as a launch week, whereas every other season previously has been day one content. So I have two theories here for this. One, it's just legal jargon that allowed them to create this image before they really knew and had a set specific time frame for that release. They knew things would be getting crazy in the COVID-19 global climate. They knew the game was initially slated to transition to Season 3 as of, well, actually right now, it would have gone live this afternoon, but now instead was moved until later tonight on the West Coast and early tomorrow, Wednesday, for everywhere else in the world. So as a sort of precautionary measure before they knew everything locked down, and while they're working on this image, they just put launch week. Or the second theory is that maybe some of this stuff won't be coming immediately. I definitely think that if that's the case, we're going to be getting our things like our, of course, maps, weapons, battle pass, and operators all on launch day. But the unfortunate first guess of what I think would be on the chopping block is that if this is the case, I'd imagine that we end up seeing quads come later this week, and maybe Friday, because we've seen playlists sometimes refresh for weekends. But I'm hoping that it's just legal jargon because I want to play quads with my squad, but we'll end up seeing what time brings us, but wanted to point that out immediately so there may not be any misunderstandings. But on that, we end up seeing for the launch week of the maps of Talsik Backlot, Hovik Sawmill, and Ania Incursion. Now, Talsik Backlot is the modernization of the classic COD 4 map. There is some detail in the blog post that came out after this roadmap about it, but nothing really that clarifies if it's a faithful remaster, remake, or if it's some slight reimagination with a couple of alleys or different doors that may not have been there in the original. We don't know just yet. No YouTubers or anything have played this, so we'll have to wait to see how this plays out. But Hovik Sawmill was in the game files listed as village, but from the few fly-throughs and a little bit of gameplay we saw in the trailer, it doesn't look like it's anything like the Modern Warfare 3 Classic. So kind of a weird turn of events, but looks like it'll be on par with some of the others. One cool thing is that there may actually be an interactable feature though with this map. In the blog post, it's listed that there is a beekeeper's shop with a few active hives in it, so we'll see how that plays out. Sounds interesting for sure. But then Ania Incursion is going to be either loved or hated. It is another introduction of Ania, but in a 6v6 capacity. This is going to be sectioning off a lot of the map and bringing it more so in line with standard 6v6 play, so this will be interesting to see how this works out. Personally, I wasn't a fan of Ania at 10v10, even when it was bumped up to what we initially played it on at the MP reveal of 20v20, it still, for whatever reason, just felt odd. So maybe this will finally be that stride that Ania needs to hit the mark, but we'll have to wait and see. We, of course, have those new weapons of the SKS and Renetti, and of course, the Operator of Alex, those coming in the Battle Pass. Alex being available instantly when you get the Battle Pass, but the SKS and the Renetti are both available for free throughout the Battle Pass. You don't have to buy into that one. Vehicle skins will be introduced for Warzone, which is an interesting little addition there. And then in season, we can see that we'll have two new shop operators, Ronin and Iskra. Hard Hat will be returning as a map at some point, with Isle 9 being a new gunfight map coming, Gun Game Reloaded and Reinfected Ground War being new multiplayer maps coming throughout the season, Warzone introducing LTMs like Scopes and Scatter, which is shotguns and snipers. More surprises coming with that one. We see a new weapon which kind of looks like the M249 Saw, though do forgive my firearm ignorance, I am absolutely no expert in that regard. And then the final thing listed on the roadmap is Gunsmith Customs, which is that Frankensmith feature where you can end up utilizing multiple blueprints for the same weapon and mix and matching attachments. So it's not going to be something where you can cross-pollinate AK-47 variants with M4 variants, but if you have, say, 5 or 6 M4 variants that you really like, but you want to mix and match some of the attachments on it to get different customization items, you can do that in the M4. So that'll be coming in season. Kind of thought it'd be coming at launch, but doesn't look like to be the case. I'd imagine the next major update after that being probably 2 weeks after launch, but that's for time to tell. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. The final thing that we can end up taking a look at is that of the official Season 3 blog post over on Activision's website. Now, this gives us everything that we just talked about detailed a little bit further, but also a little bit more information that we didn't see out of the trailer, out of the roadmap, and it's some stuff that just adds the icing to the cake here for it. Firstly, let's talk about some Warzone stuff. Obviously, we know that Quads is going to be coming. It's also listed that in-season Scopes and Scatter will be coming as a snipers and shotgun only playlist, but it lists other surprises. That is very ambiguous, very vague, and gives us nothing to really work with, but I'm definitely curious to see what that will be. But a big emphasis is on Quads here with Season 3, so I would imagine this is now going to be, of course, another staple like solos, but I'm excited to jump into that one. We end up seeing that in Warzone as well, we'll see some continuations for the adjustments of loot spawns and other updates within the game. There's going to be more additional weapons added into the ground and crate spawns, and also one thing they're adding for Season 3 is kind of a meta shift here where you can expect to see every single weapon type with a silenced and a non-silenced variation out there in the world of play. That doesn't mean you're going to pick up one and automatically get the opportunity to equip a silencer, but you're going to end up seeing that you have the opportunity to get a suppressed weapon instead of just a non-suppressed one. So that's some stuff that'll be interesting, and of course may make early game a little more difficult to play if you're not really listening to where shots are coming from, because it won't show up on your minimap, but it is going to be an adjustment added in with Season 3's update. Additionally, they mentioned in season there's going to be more meta updates coming. They didn't specify as to what, but I would imagine maybe this is more adjustments to things like the loadout drops, to things maybe like the thermal scopes, to maybe perks like Ghost and Overkill. We'll see how that all works out, but it was listed that we'll see some of those at some point throughout the season. The Battle Pass they detailed a little bit further, confirming the Renetti and the SKS Marksman Rifle are tiers 15 and 31, free for all players, doesn't matter if you buy the Premium Pass or not. You'll see some new blueprints thrown in the mix there as well, both in the free and paid premium tiers. We'll get more realistic milsim outfits, so that's something that a lot of players have been asking for. Joel Emsley mentioned this was in the works for a while ago, but finally coming now with Season 3. And also, one other noted item is that there's going to be a Riley finishing move available at tier 20 with the Premium Pass. So Riley from Ghosts is making a return back into the Modern Warfare universe and is going to be seemingly following suit with what we saw with Talon's finishing move, where he brings out his dog as well. So cool to see that, and we may see more in the coming future, but that's listed as the Battle Pass stuff. But there's also some additional content listed, such as Gun Game Reloaded, more gunfight variants. There's going to be Isle 9 as a new gunfight map coming in season, and potentially a faithful Demolition introduction within Modern Warfare. Demolition was said to come within Season 2. I don't know if they just completely scrapped the idea or if it was meant to be morphed into Cyber Attack Pro, which was essentially Demolition but with respawns. but it really wasn't demolition. So whether or not that was their technicality or if it actually did get pushed back into Season 3 now, we'll have to wait and see. But other stuff we end up seeing from just promo images is the fact that we're going to see another classic ghost skin introduced here at this. I'm hoping in the Battle Pass, but it is the skin from Loose Ends, so it is the classic ghost skin that you guys probably know and love. So that will be returning for Ghost within Season 3 at some time. But that said, that right now is everything that we have. Update goes live again later tonight, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 a.m. Eastern, and wherever you may be throughout the world and your subsequent time zones. Just keep an eye out for that one. Have your platform of choice ready to go, ready to download. But other than that, we're ready to jump into Season 3. I'm incredibly excited, and I hope you guys are as well. Hopefully you found this video insightful. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to? Anything you guys are really excited for? Maybe not so much. Whatever it is, feel free to let me know. But that said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, all things Warzone, especially with a new season here right on the horizon. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Probably click on both those. So you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be. That link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.